pressure enough people in the world to allow them to have their way. Well, I'm interested in God's right ways. And God's right ways are always the best ways and always for our good. Hallelujah. But it says here, verse 17, for therein, in the gospel, the power of believing it, making it open up to us, is the righteousness of God revealed. In other words, I can see as God sees. I can see right from wrong like God sees right from wrong. Are you guys out there?
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Just want to be sure I didn't put you to sleep. All right. Now, another translator translates that, for in it there is a revelation of the divine righteousness. Now listen to that. In it, in other words, the gospel, in believing the gospel, there is a revelation, a revealing of the divine righteousness. Divine being God, godly, heavenly. Way says, for in the gospel a righteousness which comes from God is revealed. You see, the world doesn't know God's righteousness. They don't know God's right way. They know what they think is right for them. Me, I. Bless me, give me, help me, make me comfortable. But they're not yet, they don't have any idea of God's right. They want the right for their convenience, for their sake. But in the gospel, in the good news, which, by the way, is always has your best interest, always. A righteousness that's from God opens your eyes to see it. Aren't you glad?
Amen.
Hallelujah. New English Bible says, this is my favorite, because here is revealed God's way of righting wrong.
Thank you, Lord.
I like that. I'm going to read it again. Understand, we're talking about the gospel, power of believing the gospel, and the righteousness of God being revealed. And now, New English Bible translates the last part of verse 17. Actually, the first part there. That's saying, because here is revealed God's way of righting wrong. Now, I'm going to tell you, I met some wrong in 2011. Hallelujah. But I'm not ashamed of the good news of Jesus Christ. Because in that is the power of God to right the wrong. Glory. Do you see this?
Thanks, sir.
Because here is revealed God's way of righting wrong.
Right.
Well, I used to try to right wrong on my own. I knew God's right ways because I read the Word, but I tried to do it. I wanted to fix it. Sometimes I still do try. But here we're seeing that God reveals to us His way of righting wrong. That's what we need to be. Now, let's go on. It says, from faith to faith. The revelation, the righting of the wrong, is accomplished by faith, by your belief, by your believing. Philip says the process begun and continued by their faith. William says the way of faith that leads to greater faith. And that is correct. In other words, you've been given the measure of faith, Romans 12:3. You've been given the measure of faith. Everyone's been given the measure of faith. I have people tell me all the time, I say, well, I wish I could believe like you. I wish I did have your faith. And my answer to that is you do. You just need to exercise it. It's exactly the same faith given to everyone. It's what you do with what you have. Hallelujah. The way of faith that leads to greater faith. Because it gets strong. It exercises, gets it strong. As it is written, the just shall live by faith. Hallelujah. Now we've quoted that many times. We still continue to quote it. We'll continue quoting it. Now let's look at it a little bit. The Revised Standard Version says, he who through faith is righteous shall live. That's pretty strong. Listen now. In light of everything we just said, he who through faith is righteous shall live. Okay, let's put it this way. He who through faith is right, in God's right, finds life. Life is revealed. Walks in life. Experiences life. Enjoys life. But it's by faith. It's not what I'm seeing with my natural eyes. These natural eyes perish. You know, they deteriorate.
Oh, yeah.
Some people, as they get older, lose their sight. Or it starts dwindling. I'm not going to confess that. Amen? Ours is strong. However, in the world, with age, sometimes it goes. Because why? These are temporary tools. They're not meant for eternal. This is meant for eternal. The heart, seeing with the heart, seeing the eternal.
Amen. Glory.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Another translator says, through faith, the righteous man shall find life. This is other translators' way of saying the just shall live by faith. Now listen, the just shall live by faith, or Revised Standard, he who through faith is righteous shall live. Puts a little different twist on it, doesn't it? Through faith, the righteous man shall find life. How? Well, I'm back up here in the English Bible, because here is revealed God's way of righting wrong. Here is revealed God's way of righting wrong. How? Through faith. Through faith. Glory to God. Are you with me?
Sir.
So let's talk about God's way of righting wrong. I want to right